I heard you. Over 500 responses for why everyone's VSC sucks. Merge versus rebase, submodules, conflicts, branching, commit messages, hooks, using a CLI versus a GUI, cherry picking, force pushing, reflog, bisect. I get it. It's a disaster. So let's fix it. So first off, you've been saying it wrong this entire time. Git is an insult. JIT is a version control system. All right, so let's just solve the biggest debate of our lives: rebase versus merge. There is no rebasing on Fridays, weekends, or federal holidays, and there is no merging or rebasing before 11 a.m. Montana time Monday morning. No, I don't care, Tom, that you've refactored the entire application into Rust.
I get it. You're a genius.
But it is 10 a.m. Montana time. We're not taking that shit. Naturally, this leads to conflicts. Well, what about conflicts? This is incredibly simple. You'll be surprised you haven't thought of it yourself. When merging, you obviously take the developer with the oldest Twitter account. They have had the greatest influence by amazing Twitter influencers who've really set them on the correct path, so you should take their changes because it's likely the most correct change. But clearly it's different when rebasing, because with rebasing, ours is theirs and theirs is ours. Therefore, you will use the youngest GitHub or GitLab account. This will ensure proper inversion. So now you never have to worry about conflicts again. It can even be automated. But there is one caveat to the rule, which is if you do a push race, meaning that you have 2 pushes within 10 minutes that cause a conflict, the conflictee gets to challenge the conflictor to a type racer. Standard Marquise of Queenberry rule, of course. That is unless one of the challengers uses the char recorder, in which it can be just a simple flip of the coin. But what about force pushing? Well, actually, that one's pretty simple. If you force push, a meeting will be scheduled within half an hour to meet with your local HR representative. Oh yeah, I pushed forcefully. We're gonna meet several times today. If you push with force with lease, we call the police. GitHub Copilot wrote that joke. I thought it was kind of funny. All right, so what about Git branching? Everyone just has their bespoke way in which they want to do branching. Obviously, we ban Git flow right out of the gates. If you suggest Git flow, you are on call for a week straight. A simpler, more sane approach is this. You get 5 branches per week, 2 if you're a junior. When you're out of branches, you have to work directly off master. Branches do not roll over week per week. So if you go on vacation, you can't just accrue a bunch of branches. And if you don't use all of your branches, for every branch you don't use, you get to choose 1 hour of Jira backlog grooming or 1 day of on-call support. You can either follow the conventional changelog commit messages, or you can make it into a song. But the song does have to match with the CI status. And when making the commit messages, what commit message editor should you use? Well, clearly we're going to have a fully compliant, the Primeagen.files NeoVim experience with Harpoon, language server support, Telescope, Tree Sitter, Copilot, and a fully configured waifu background. Submodules. If you suggest submodules, from here on out, Git blame will resolve to your name until the next person suggests submodules. CLI versus a GUI app. Which one do you use? Well, it's actually pretty simple. Everyone's required to use lazy Git, which looks like a GUI, but it's in the CLI. It should make nobody happy, and that makes everybody happy. Cherry pick will be referred to as yoink. If a Git ignore is created, it comes auto-completed with dsstore node modules.env out temp and build. There's only one pre-commit hook allowed, which is a pre-commit hook to check for other pre-commit hooks. If any other pre-commit hooks are found on your system, you are on call for the next 24 hours, and if you try to escape this with that -n flag, you will be on call for all major AAA game releases for the next 12 months. I know, Diablo 4 just came out. You would have been on call. Now, if you find yourself needing to bisect your ref logs with you're probably doing it wrong, because I don't have a degree in plumbing, and neither do you. You need to get in contact with Tom the Wizard. He will help you. He's a genius. I'm not. I'm sorry. Those features are exclusively reserved for Tom and Tom alone. Now, I'm not going to implement any of this. That's an exercise left to the viewer. But while I was working on a little reference implementation for Netflix, by the way, I work at Netflix, by the way, I wrote it in C++, the Lord's language, and I realized I think I need to fix C++.